Good day, welcome to the chat on NAIJA Watch. How you doing? My name is Iman. It's good to have you on here with me. Welcome to the broadcast. Yes, welcome to the broadcast. Oh, please let everybody know that we are here. Now is a good time to ping, to poke, to message, to call, to flash, to beep somebody and let them know that we are on here and we are ready to get started. But yo, how you doing? Come on, talk to me. I should be playing out. I hope everything is going just fine. Oh yes, Mr. Edo Watch, how you doing? Good afternoon to you too. It's good to have you on this broadcast. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate your time on here. I appreciate the relationship, the rapport, the connection. I appreciate the disagreement. I appreciate the agreement. But even much more, I appreciate the very reason why we are all here together, the very goal, that has brought us all here together, and which is to push the growth of the nation, to come together, form a Voltron, and to see, to a new Nigeria, to a new and better Nigeria, especially a better and efficient government. Welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for being here. Please take out time to like this broadcast. Yes, please take out time to like, share, and invite someone onto the broadcast. So, what's your weather like? I hope somebody says something to me. What's your weather like? It is crazy hot over here. It is hot, 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 hot over here. You can legit fry, break your egg and fry it outside, and it will roast it. Honestly, it's really hot here. What's your weather? Should we swap? Should I send some sunshine over there, or you think I should? I have it better on here. I'd like to know. What's happening over there. All right, we've got quite a couple of items on here that we would be talking about. Please just give me a minute. Okay, so we've got quite some items that we would be talking about. Let's see which one we have on here first. Okay, so the APC chairman. The APC chairman has come out to say we will win by crook. Yes, it says by hook or by crook. And even though, even in his statement, he said that he has been and this was at the flag of campaign at Kano. He was saying that even though he has been told that he should not use that word, saying that they will win by hook or crook, but that he's still saying it and that nobody can do anything about it, and he's saying it and that is what it is, that they will win Kano votes by hook or crook. Statement like this, statement like this should this is inciting. I don't know, but coming out to say whether you like it or not, we must win by. Coming out to say we must win by hook or by crook, that means you are coming out to say that you are ready to rig the election and see to it that that APC will win in Kano State. However way they want to do it, it doesn't even matter if it is the choice of the people or not. And coming from the APC chairman, I think that's INEC should sanction the party, for such recklessness. That's what I think. What do you think about it? People are saying that whether they say this or they do not say this, it doesn't stop them from, still carry this act. But we will surprise them by being at the poll and making sure that does not happen. But that's an expensive statement, that should not be welcome. That's too expensive a statement. All right, let's move on to this other story. The ex-AGF Idris returned $900,000. $900,000 cash. Witnesses tells court. Oh boy, $900,000. And this is the same person that is pleading not guilty at the courts. That is why the matter is still tarrying. And now we are seeing that this is the same person that has dropped such amount of money. So does that mean that they should cut him some slack, or they should the law should just carry the full weight. I mean, this is somebody that is supposed to help and curtail. The very reason why he is there, he went to do the very opposite, still by this government. And it's amazing how you get to see comments like, well, at least in Buhari's government, the people that stole are being, they are being caught. All right, let's take the submission. Let's take this reaction. And this is by Isaac Wallace. Says, what does Islam say about all these stealings by its followers from Kano and Zamfara? Surely, if it was some random folk, there will be some public lashing and stoning happening. But we know how this religion treats the rich. I mean, come to think of it, make we leave the constitutional law. Let's use Sharia law to judge this matter. Abi, let's use Sharia law to judge people that are from places that have allowed Sharia law to stay or to stand. What does the Islam say, Abi? Right? What does Islam say about stealing? Stealing this amount of money, putting people at impoverishing people, stealing people's money. What does the religion say about that? And then who chooses, when to use Sharia law and when to use the Nigerian law to judge a case? But is this not even confusing to you? As I'm reading this out, is it not confusing to you? I'm saying who chooses when to use Islamic law and who chooses when to use the Nigerian law? I mean, who chooses? Who determines what offense should? I mean, and it's true. The religion is not for the rich. Religion is for the poor. And let's see what's okay. Adeton goes on to say, don't they do shortly for poor thieves? And not in Nigeria. And this is for Mosuba. Mosuba says the Chinese way is the best way to deal with corrupt officials. Please, what is the Chinese way to deal with corrupt officials? I really, really, really would want to know the Chinese way. All right, we have this from Faith Nwa Peter Obi. Says, why is this man still working freely? It should be in the darkest part of any jail. Nigerian elites are just wicked. Lord, okay. I will just go on ahead to call him Uncle J. Says the extent of looting and corruption under this Buhari regime is yet to be unearthed. And this is by Father Ose Oladipupo. Says, and same was uncovered under his administration, not after. Commendable still. Okay, so Father Ose thinks this is a commendable act. I mean, for all of this corruption, theft that has gone on under Buhari's, they're saying that some of them has been uncovered still in his regime, and that means it's been a good one. And the change that he promised us to fight corruption, it is something that he has adhered to, and we just have to give it to Buhari. And I'm saying, what kind of submission is this? But then again, everyone is entitled to their reaction. Bankole Adams says, why are they taking it easy on this man? Despite his grievous theft, it needs to be made to refund all he stole and still be put in jail. Goodness. Honestly, are they trying to say this $900,000 that he has returned is supposed to be, because it is stated that he did it voluntarily on his own accord. He just brought the money, and then is that even anywhere close to that? What is the punishment? We need to start having this kind of conversation. Somebody said something about doing it the Japanese way. I'm still asking, is it the Japanese or the Chinese way? I'm still asking, what is the Chinese way of dealing with corruption? If we have to review how all of these things are being executed, then just maybe, just maybe, if going to stay in Ikoyi prison and after that you get some presidential pardon after a couple of years, you coming out looking all glowing and all that, why won't they keep stealing our money? All right, let's move on to another story. So yes, there is a picture of Peter Obi and the governor of Anambra State. It is said that they met for a program at the Catholic Church. But something remarkable in this write-up says that the governor of Anambra State stood up to go greet Peter Obi, saw Peter Obi and stood up to go greet him in his own pew. And people saw that, and people the reaction for people, okay, it was a mixed reaction as the crowd were set to, some were, saying that Peter Obi should be mindful of this man and not hug the man because this man cannot be trusted. Other people were saying it was Peter Obi is being responsible, that he has said that he's going to deal with everybody with love and he's being matured about it. There's quite a divide over it. But, for Soludo to stand up and, Oh, okay, Mr. Kennedy, thank you for dropping. Oh, it is still the same Malami. So this case is not going anywhere then. And I just saw also somewhere where, okay, I'll try to bring that story on here, where it is fingered that Buhari's son-in-law was just given one position, a national position or a federal position, so to say. Okay, this man is sharing properties with his. They've turned Nigeria to family business. All right. Okay, so that's the story of Peter Obi. What is your reaction? You think Peter Obi is letting his guard down and allowing, he should not allow, fraternity, or he should not trust Soludo as, like before, or, he should let bygone be bygone. Politics, people will say all sorts. And there is a divide to say that all these people moving around, coming out to support APC or PDP, that they know where their hearts truly lies, that come that day that they will be surprised, because all these ones that they are doing is just formalities. And Soludo has proven one of those theories out there that these ones are just, doing the work of their masters, but their heart at the end of the day is what they'll be following. All right, to each and every one of you on this broadcast with me, thank you very much for being on here. Please do also like this broadcast. This is the chat. Welcome to the chat. Later on, we will be catching reactions on the Naira. Yes, we'll be catching reactions on the Naira. What is your view on this Naira? With everything, everything that has brought us to the place where we have this Naira redesigning. I don't know, but what do you think? The 200 Naira screams danger. The 200 Naira screams. I read somewhere, somebody said, when you keep spending your money and it gets to 200 Naira, you go no say you don't read. You truly don't read. But all right, Nigerians, are you happy with your new money? Are you happy with it? All right, we'll be catching reactions regarding this. But before we get there, let's go to another issue. Now, you see how we talk about our leaders, the lapses, and and what have you. Also, we also have heartbreaking stories. We have heartbreaking stories on here regarding, one of our own as well. The kind of stories that you will hear out there are not very encouraging. Like this story here: lady arrested for stabbing her husband to death for breaking her phone after denying him sex. All right, that's the story. We took the story earlier today in the papers, if you remember. Now, this story says that this couple have been having issues. Mr. Chubuzo, I salute you. It's good to have you on this broadcast. Welcome. So the story has it that this couple...
Thank you.
All right, sir. This couple have been having issues, and for 3 months they were apart. The parents of the girl, the parents of the boy, church members, neighbors, everybody has, acted as intermediary. They've gone to beg. If people are willing to, especially a woman, when a woman says she doesn't want, can we? Okay, sometimes people beg and it goes on well, right? And sometimes they beg and it doesn't go on well. And so at this point, we don't even know when to say, if you say you are tired, then that is it. We need to be able to identify, because it is always the case of, splitting and being begged, and they're always saying this is the last time, and it is always the last time that ends them. So we need to be able to identify, or should we start minding our business when it comes to, things that happens in people's home? The so-called IVD's case, the one that the woman set the house on fire, set herself on fire, well, even the one that lit the fire. Unfortunately for her, she was thinking the husband was going to beg her, as usual, not to kill herself and all of that. But the man had just had it up to here, and he just watched her, got engulfed in the fire. And all of these cases keeps coming up. Now, this is just one of it. The same night that this couple came back together, the same night after 3 months of staying apart, the very same day that they came back together, that night the husband moved on to to touch her. He wanted some intimacy, sexual intimacy with her. She was not forthcoming. He proceeded to yank her phone off her hand, smash it on the wall, and she in turn, so much anger. You already know. He says that there's so much hatred from both of them. There is so much hatred. It looks like the woman was forced. Can parents just stop this madness? Why is it that African parents would rather deal with death than deal with shame of their daughter walking out of a marriage? Why? Because wetin reach, the man smashed the phone from your hand. You can't go carry knife and took a man's life. What is it in the marriage, for crying out loud? What is it in marriage that Africans want to kill themselves in? And African parents and family members will not like people to walk away. If a woman is brazen enough to walk away, they should allow her. See, I see women who say, because of my children, I say, leave the children. Yeah, I know women will come for me and say also, but if you cannot stand, if you have a problem standing, if you have a problem what to lean on, who to lean on. Lean on me no mean say push me down. So if you are going to be leaning on somebody, you cannot carry 4 children and going to be leaning on somebody, not with Jesus Christ. Leave them with their father. You think of all the children, and you people don't even born easy. You think of all the children, you want to go and squat with all those plenty children in somebody's house. All of these things, they drive a woman crazy. And then when a woman finally walks out on the marriage, if she's a Christian, then you see the church will now boycott her. That is why some will stay in this rubbish. Some will stay in the rubbish, all in the name of marriage. Yes, I know there are battles, I know there are cross, but pick your cross wisely. Hey, as a grown-ass person, a man will slap you. What kind of love is that? What kind of endurance is that? Why should a woman agree to stay in a thing like that? The hatred. Now, over time, the hatred kept building and building and building. In all of this, I fault the parents. But then, it's best for us to always remember that in life, everything that we do, we are the first partaker of the consequences. So, if you not say no go favor you, I don't understand how people say I'm doing it for my children. It is not favoring you, and you think it will favor your children. African women and even the men, because look at the man is dead, is gone. Is bloody gone, is gone. Is gone, is lifeless, is gone. That's it. That's the end of everything. It will never ever feel like to have this sex again. It will never have a family. It will not have anybody to slam phone. And there's some things. This life is sweet. I don't understand how you put yourself in a condition. Is life not sweet for some people? I beg, life is too sweet for me to stay with one man that is slapping me, or for one man that is you're even frowning your face. You frown your face for 2 days, frown your face for 1 week. What am I still doing there? How much more you now conceive so much hatred? I think we should always be able to know the marriage that should just, they should just walk out from, and the one that, you can still pray and, give yourself space. There's some people that will say, this person cannot tolerate some things. And you, for some reason, you always do things like some people that cannot tolerate cheating. Somebody tells you, oh, I cannot tolerate cheating. Why are you with somebody when you know that you cannot help them? You have to play around, play games. So why are you with somebody that cannot? You don't know that the person will lose it one day and kill you. There are some signs that fathers need to start talking to their sons. Mothers are going to bury daughter-in-laws. Fathers are going to bury son-in-laws. Meanwhile, they're still alive. Parents should start talking to their children. Women, well, I'm saying parents should start talking. Is it not this one that left the house and the parents still brought her back in the name of peacemaking? And this peacemaking, I don't understand how, if two people that love themselves or that are involved cannot bring about peace, is it some other person outside that is? Then there is a, if it is your pastor that can restore peace in your home. Okay, I would like to cut some slack and believe that there are some issues that should be left for the fathers. The family members should come in and so. But if it happens all the time, then there is a problem. I'd like to stop here. Let's take reactions. Then I would let's take reactions. So far, we'll proceed with other stories. Mr. Kennedy, good to have you back on the broadcast. Thank you very much, Mr. Kennedy. I appreciate your time always. Please go ahead with your submission.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you to viewers at home all over the world. But I think somebody was here before me. I don't know if it's okay for me to continue.
Yeah, Mr. Chubuzo,
Okay.
we already spoke. We already spoke, so I'm continuing
Okay.
from the next person.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll be very busy shortly. I just want to quickly talk on this issue of this woman that took the life of the husband. You see, we have always been discussing issues like this. The issue of counseling, the issue of mental problems, the issue of financial buoyancy and all that. So it culminates a lot of factors, because if you look at it very vividly, let us deconstruct the status of this woman and this man. They could be very, very impoverished, they very, very poor, from very poor, probably very poor neighborhood, and there's no means of livelihood, proper means of livelihood, and all that. So we have to look at all the critical areas that may have contributed to this menace. Look at it properly. This man and this woman, they've been having this fracas for quite a number of time. And the family of the woman, probably because of the poverty in the family, instead of them to take back their daughter and probably nurture their daughter or give accommodation to their daughter, they forced the daughter back into where she didn't want to go. That was a very, very, terrible and a toxic terrain that the woman was forced back into. So how can the woman cope when the woman is complaining about the e-treatment, and yet she was forced back there? She may have probably been forced back there because there could be no roof over her head, because the father may probably be having a lot of children, and he will be happy, or the parents will be happy that she's gone, and she should be gone forever, not coming back. Because assuming the father has like 2 or 3 children and they still have extra rooms in the house, they will accommodate the woman in the house. But if there are no extra, even the rooms are not enough to take care of the children remaining in the house, they wouldn't want her to come back. They would just say, please take it. Your mother took that kind of rubbish too. Why won't you take it? And this woman
Mr.
was having
Chubuzo, making an excuse as an African parent. Mr.
yes, it's Africa. There's back. I'm sorry to say, there's a lot of backwardness. There's a lot of backwardness in Africa because of one, educational background, two, the poverty level, and all that. The Africans are too poverty stricken. So there are a lot of factors that are responsible for this. Nobody thinks about the mental well-being of the woman. Nobody thinks about how stressed the post-traumatic traumatic stress disorder should be having. Nobody cares about that. They will just tell her, go and face the problem. If Madame Eunice was able to take care of her problem, why won't you be able to take care of yours? And they will force her into that difficult terrain, and at the end, this is the result we will get from it. And look at the man who probably knows that this woman did not doesn't have that love for him anymore, decided to take back this woman. Probably this man has no financial resources to take in another woman. And you see, anybody that does not, and if any woman, loses that respect and love for you, no, her body not go get up for you. There's no way you can touch that. The body not go get up. And that man failed to realize that, and he tried to have his way. And when the woman refused, he smashed the phone, and the woman got angry and used the knife. The man should have, sometimes when you're having a problem with your wife, you have to make sure you go to the kitchen and make sure you lock up the broken glasses or the knives. Lock them up so that not anything can happen at night.
Like
Because
or you
women,
just leave the house, or
yes,
you just yeah, that's too stressful.
yeah, yeah. Make sure you before you make that advances, you lock the door, and before she opens the door, then you should be able to grab her and make sure she doesn't go to the kitchen. Because a lot of us we've been through marriages and all that. We know how women, they can be very quiet but very very dangerous when it comes to things like this. And that woman who knows that if the man goes out to take another woman, she will not be happy, yet she refused to entertain the man with what she has. And women too should understand how dangerous it is not to accept a man's advances at night, because when the body becomes hot, nobody can stop that man. Oh, it's not easy at that time. But we men too, we have to understand when the relationship is toxic, we have to find a way out. You go to another person, allow that woman to go. If you don't allow that woman to, this is what is going to happen. And a lot of women, like they will say, because of the children and all that, because there's that stigma in our society where people will say, look at this woman when not sabi stay husband house. For whereas in civilized country, even in Japan here, when some men and women, when they get a divorce, they celebrate in the bars. They are very happy. Even they come to celebrate with the same man. The man and the husband that just got a divorce goes out to celebrate, and they are happy together. And they can even be going for dinner or whatever together when they have time. Because it's not a do or die affair. Because one Japanese rightly told me about 20 years ago that he loves marriage as an institution, because there's marriage and there's a divorce. If there were no divorce, it would have been very difficult. Since there's a divorce, I think it's one of the most interesting institutions. That is why if you go to take a marriage certificate to fill it, some people they just take along the divorce certificate to and fill it. It's just for you in Japan. It's just for you to put the stamp when you are ready to part your ways. I think this thing is not going to stop, because the finances are involved, the stigma is involved, the cultural something is involved, whereby the men are just like the odunga of the family, whatever they say is even the parents of the woman will say, don't complain, go back to your husband, whatever happens. Even if the man is having infidelity, they will ask her to entertain the infidelity and move on with her life. So we have to understand how stressful it is for women. And the government should make laws to take care of all these situations. One, when there's a divorce, who takes care of the children? I don't think there's a strong law that takes care of all these issues, because men will just say, these are my children, and the men can just take the children if they are able to take care of them. And the women have no say, and the family of the man will just go something, even if the man is not at home, to take the children from the woman. These children are my brother's children, so you don't have to keep them and all that. I don't think there's any. I don't know. Maybe they are, and if they are laws, they should be implemented to the letter, so that we give these women the sense of belonging, and their fundamental human rights have to be respected. I sympathize with the man, sympathize with the entire family, because this will cause katakata in the whole family, both the man's family and the woman's family, and maybe forever and ever there will be no greeting, because the woman killed their son. So thank you very much. We'll end it here. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kennedy. Thank you also to Mr. Matthew. We're going to have you on the broadcast. Mr. Kennedy, so you say that some people who pick up divorce form as well as they're picking up their.
Yes, a lot of us will do it in Japan here. We do it in Japan. You pick the marriage form, because you don't know when it's going to happen. A lot of people here have divorced in about 3 hours, 3 hours after marriage, because these Oyibo people, they don't actually care. When I had the first divorce here in Japan, and after the divorce, I was thanking my wife for divorcing me, and she was thanking me too, and she chose to take me out for dinner. I chose to take her out too, but at the end, I was the one that paid. Sometimes when marriage is becoming toxic, you can even kill the woman at night, and the woman can even give you poison because she cooks for you. The best thing is to go your way. And up till now, we've been divorced about 20 years. Up till now, anytime I call her for dinner, she comes with me, and we go out for dinner. And my first son too. So it's just, and my first son is always happy for me to call the mother. And my wife now she doesn't complain when I call my ex-wife. We'll go for dinner. So it's like that. Africa, we are too strict in all these. I don't know. Africa, we have a long way to go. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kennedy. Thank you. If you're just joining us, please do also like this broadcast. I beg, take us back with our broadcast. I beg, we did try. I beg, thank you. And do want to support us by clicking on the dollar sign to the right on the comment section, guys. Show some love. Click on the comment section. Come on into the studio and let's talk about the thing. So I also have another story. Yes, let's go on ahead. But please like this broadcast, okay? Thank you very much. So, So a man and his friends emptied his girlfriend's store over infidelity in Edo State. So this Bini guy sent his girlfriend to school, set her up, to medical school, set her up. Yes, he set her up, opened a pharmaceutical store for her, and he got to know that she was double dating. Yes, that is not even the real relationship. He is a side nigga. He's a side G, and he got angry. He invited his friends over, and They went to the girl's store, and they cleared her store. That's him and his friends going with the dustbin bag. They cleared the girl's store. They really did clear the girl's store. And okay, let's cast reactions to this. Now, there are stories like this over time growing up of how people will say illiterates. Allow me use that word. Illiterates will say, I sent my girl to school, she's out and she's saying we are not the same anymore, or we are not on the same level. My level is bigger than your level, things like that. And it's something that's my gender, over time they've been doing. Somebody sends you to school and the person is interested in you. Why do you think it is right for you to play the person like that? You did not know that you and this person are not, if people are not equals, if people are not age mates, you don't know. I mean, this is someone, your sponsor. But this Edo guy was not having it though. And he took the girl, brother, he took his friends and they went to raid the girl's store, and of course they did well to clear. Somebody says, this is Nelly Nell says, Benin boy open shop for you, you get mine cheat. And King Onsi says, you see Edo people, they're supposed to create another country for them separately. This is for Maureen. Maureen says, if you have someone who loves you enough to invest and establish you, wonder what you will be looking for. This relationship thing safe there. This is comedian Privileged Son says, nobody is even condemning the fact that she cheated. All I see here is stop dating kids. Kids, they open shop for adults. Learn to balance your judgments. All right. That's the submission on here. We'll take one more.
Mrs. Emma, you can see you could see say people not well. Oh, they just condemn my Edo people, my own people. And what of the woman? What? No. What people they do now? Make the pity for us.
No, but people are saying that the girl deserves what happened to her. How can you play someone that sent you to medical school and opened a pharmaceutical store for you? Why should you do that?
The guy for even arrest and join. For arrest and join.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy. All right. So some people think that the guy did not do enough. He should have gone to collect a certificate. He should have told the landlord to send you what is left of the house rent. He should have just collected everything since the girl thinks she's smart. But oh boy. Well, we are bringing all of these submissions. I will catch a reaction in just a minute. Let's move on to another wonderful story that is coming out from the beautiful city the beautiful city of Edo State. And here we have, please just a minute. Yes. So you guys need to see this video that I watched. This boy is actually a very fine boy. I don't know what happened. I don't know how we allowed this to happen. But this big boy arrested for trying to abscond after abscond without paying for his bill at a hotel in Benin, Edo State. So this young man, I think he goes by the name Emmanuel. I think that's his name if I remember the story. He said to have collected a room with two girls, and they were ordering, they were chopping life and enjoying themselves. It can't reach time to pay. My guy wanted to fly fence, wanted to jump fence to escape. And he was caught. I didn't bring the story here because I mean they did beat this boy to stupor. He had like blood stains on his body, so I couldn't bring that on here. And they were angry and saying, fine boy like you, fine boy like you, wetin make you come chop this kind life wey you no get money. But I mean, you will not wonder, shey this one na juju dem use for this one. You dress up, this guy is looking fine. Yeah, he's not looking fine, he's a fine. I mean, if I say he's a fine boy, please take it from me, I have a very good eyes. Now, he would go all out to chop life like that when he can't even afford it. I don't understand what is wrong with what is even happening. How do you expect to escape from a situation like this? Okay, let's catch this reaction before we hear from the dog in the house. This is from King Joseph. Says, I don't understand why a grown ass man would choose to embarrass himself like this. I mean, there's a certain age you get to, and you just know there is some type of you shouldn't be doing anymore. You know they your pockets. You carry two babes, go hotel. Waiting una for chop way for amount to 85K, I beg. Those girls. All right, I'll be moving on. All right. This is from King Hashtag. Says the problem for me isn't him trying to abscond without paying by jumping over the fence. It is trying to jump over the fence while wearing those tight jeans. Says poor planning, poor execution. He should have worn clothes at least. All right, Mr. Chimaobi, let's catch your reaction. I can't go on with these reactions, please. Welcome to the broadcast, sir. Okay. Mr. Chimaobi, apologies, your network is static. Could you please dial back into the studio? I really want to hear from you. Please dial back into the studio. All right, Mr. Chubuzo, let's catch your reaction to the story so far.
Yeah, how are you, Emma? Good day, everybody listening. Good day, panelists. Let me start with the woman that killed the husband. You know, um, there is a lot of things happening in marriage. Especially, there is something they call instant anger, and that instant anger, I don't see everybody have it in their mind. So when it comes to that extent, we don't know exactly what inspired within the quarreling, or within the moment the sex issue start uploading. We didn't know exactly what happened. The approach, the behavior within the time all these things are happening. Nobody can tell. But the only thing that we can conclude is that the woman just killed the husband because the woman needed sex. But the only thing I can put on the man is a lack of maturity, because I don't see the reason why maybe the woman will deny him sex, then that will get into rage, and they start destroying things. Because after all, this is your woman. You are going to stay with this woman forever, actually. If whatever it may occur, this can result into conversation. Maybe the woman is not in the mood. Look at the fracas both of you have went through for the days. But now you are demanding sex without that woman being ready. It's not in Nigeria, we force sex to women, whether she's ready or she's not ready. As far as you married her and she became your property. But don't forget that even sometimes these feelings have time for it. It's not every time you have feelings to have sex. It's not every time you have that feeling. But it was a lack of maturity that made that man could not hold his anger. Then all of a sudden he break out and start breaking phones. So the woman have instant anger. He didn't judge. He carried the knife and stabbed the man. Whether maybe he didn't mean to kill the man, but it result to death. So that call now it became a murder case against the woman. So I can call that a lack of maturity on the man himself. He couldn't manage his marriage, and that is what happens. Then let me go to the Edo one that invested a lot in a woman before the woman now go to another man. Then he went and looted the shop. Well, this is his investment. Now everybody must understand this. This is his investment. And when the investment is not going the way you want it, there's a lot that you can do. Either you offload the shop, or you close hand the shop because the investment is not going the way you want it to go. So the woman could be a little bit transparent on that affair, but she couldn't. She used this man and they succeed all her career. Then when it's time for the man now to start reaping his benefit, now he find out that the woman have engaged to another man. What the man did was correct. He did the right thing. That money designing should they give a lot of excuses on this money designing. Some people say it's old. Some people say it's because of bandit. Well, for me, it's a waste of money. Nigerian system is very, very bad. Our system of government is completely behind.
Mr. Chubuzo, I'm sorry, we've not gotten to the Naira redesigning yet. That will be our last topic for today, please.
You say what?
We've not gotten to the Naira redesigning topic yet. That will be our last topic for the day. So please, we are coming to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right.
No, there is something one of my brother from Japan said about poverty on the man that killed him. The woman killed the husband. You don't blame poverty on this, because if you talk about poverty or killing of men killing wife killing men in Western world, in Africa, all over the world, such a thing occur. It's not about poverty. It's all about conversation. The thing that you have in that moment that triggers the killing or stabbing or beating. You know, it's not about poverty. It's about discussion. Something that you need to manage your discussion, manage your behavior. That moment, that rage is all about to trigger. So even though people who are poor, they live forever till the day everybody goes their way. It's the way they manage their marriage. You don't blame it on poverty, because Africa, we know that we are poor, but poverty does not make us to go to that extent. It's all about individual different, the way you manage yourself, the way you manage your anger, the way you manage your behavior during the time of a moment of anger. If you manage them well, then you can control it. But if you don't manage it well, a lot of things can go wrong. So that is what I can say on that. It's not about poverty. Thank you for that.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Chubuzo. Mr. Chimaobi, let's have you. I hope it's better now. I'm sorry. No, it's not. It's not any better, Mr. Chimaobi. I'm sorry. All right, thank you very much. Please, I hope you give it another try. I hope you give it another try. All right, let's move on to another story now. What something caught my attention after one of the matches during the ongoing World Cup, and that would be after a match. It was on someone's story saying that some group of people were doing something for content. But as he kept filming, he saw that everywhere around the entire stadium, that these people from a particular region were all doing the same thing, which was cleaning the stadium after the match. And that would be the Japanese. The story picture says that Japanese fans clean stadium after match. And he went on to ask one of the people, he spoke with several of them. He went to different points of the stadium, and I mean, we've seen the stadium, we've seen how big it is, how gigantic it is. And they all gave the same answer, the same response, and not in the same words, but That's the tale of it. That in Japanese they don't leave a place dirty, and you could tell that that is like an identity, because every nobody told them. I'm not sure they said, okay, as you are going for the, or maybe I mean, let's give room to that, right? And maybe they got a group of people, so you are going to the World Cup to go and clean stadiums, I'm thinking if this is, maybe that is what they asked them to do. Probably that is their identity. You know how they say, you see a particular group of people, you know where they are from, you can tell because of their identity. Their way of life would show you their identity or where they are from. And I'm asking, as Nigerians, what's our identity? Mr. Kennedy, let's have you go for this.
Thank you very much. Before I go for that, I want to tell my brother, Mr. Chibuzo, that I didn't say it's just poverty. I said poverty is one of the factors because you see sometimes when you cannot give money to your wife to make a meal, you see how the women, how they disrespect the men and all that. But anyway, your submission is accepted. Thank you very much. The that is the Japanese, typical Japanese identity. I think the whole world is aware. If you come to Japan, you see that. That's why sometimes when I make some argument, people will not understand me. These people are so decent. You don't see trash on the street. If you mistakenly throw out a trash from your car window, the car behind you will just park and take it from the street and put it in his car and disposes it when he gets to the next trash bin or gets to his house. Is what is happening here. You need to see 6 years old kids, 10 years old kids at primary school, the one they call elementary school here. You need to see when they have events. After the event, you see all these children. They don't wait to be for anybody to tell them what to do. They just clean it. You see, it's very fantastic the way these people are brought up, and they behave almost the same way. The kind of behavior you see in children in my city here, the kind of behavior you see in Tokyo, in Fukuoka, in Osaka, in Hokkaido, it's just the same kind of behavior. They are so decent. They don't insult others. They don't shout on the street. They don't fight. In fact, it's very difficult to explain. Very difficult to explain. If you live here for more than 5 years, you cannot live in any other country. That is just the nature of the country. So what they're saying is true.
I'm asking now, we as Nigeria, see, you've established that this is their identity, and this has caught the attention of the entire world. As I mean, it was amazing to see these things, see them do these things. And I'm saying, we as Nigerians, you're living in a place away from home, and I'm sure you have Nigerians there. What's that thing that we are known for?
I don't actually know what. I think I don't want to say what we are known for because we are perceived to be so corrupt and scamming nation. But we are intelligent too. You see, we
Yeah, okay.
cannot be we cannot be that bad. We are good in some areas. I think is the curricular system. The government has not been able to establish a kind of system or structure to structure human being. The government, the rules, the laws structures people. So even as corrupt as we are in Nigeria, when we get abroad, then we fall in line. Even these our senators, our lawmakers, when they go to Europe or America or Asia, they respect it. You see them inside the train, like poor people. They just sit down. They don't make noise. They don't ask people, "Do you know who I am?" So I think it's the law, the country. Like in school, yeah, the moment when your child is going to start primary school, you take your child to school. The moment you get to the gate, the child is taken from you. He or she becomes the property of the school until after closing. And you see the child who doesn't even want to know you are around. Only the teacher, whatever the teacher says, you see. Oh God. I don't know. I think it's the structure, the school curriculum. The school structure has to be able to take care of the children. What they have to start the children from the scratch until they grow up. Because in Nigeria now we are so. I think there's a lot of perverse situation in Nigeria. If you don't do wrong, if you don't do bad, you are not in Nigeria. In Nigeria will tell you, unless I'm not in Nigeria, you can't try that to me. Oh. That means unless I'm not a radical, or unless I not get brain to scam or this, and anybody when they scam will still they clap for them. They give a chieftaincy title and all that. If you can give a title, a chieftaincy, a traditional title to a bandit, then what do you expect from such a country?
All right, Mr. Kennedy, talking about bandits. Last week, four residents of Zamfara were kidnapped by bandits. The bandits initially asked for a ransom of 10 million naira, but they were quick to take down their figure to say that you know what, we want 5 million naira, but we don't want the old currency. We want the new currency. We want the new naira. So they are going to be keeping those people there until the new naira is out and until the families are able to, you know, get the money cash to them. Now, talking about the new naira, these are one of the reasons, although I don't know why. Okay, okay. Although I don't know why the CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, is coming out now to say that they are not after anybody, they are not after any reason, that it's just the right thing to do, to change the money between 5 to 8 years. That's the right thing to do. That cannot be the only reason why we are changing our why we are redesigning naira in a time as such as now. That is not a good enough reason. We were told it was going to help, you know, get back all the monies that was out there, about 2.7 trillion naira that of cash out there that they said was out there. And now it's saying something else. And now the main question is, so they are saying that this naira redesign has no, you know, it's not going to affect these kidnappers. Is that what they are trying to make us understand? Is that what they are saying? That in they did not in any way or in anyhow factor this, you know, not being able to pay these people or being able to track this money. They should, you know, they should start telling us things like that, or we should know things like that, or let's hope that these things are in place, because it will not make sense if bandits are already kidnapping people down. Do you understand? That's an investment. They are kidnapping people down, that when they start circulating this new naira, so that they no go dey stranded, you people should start bringing to really, of course people would want to give them this money, and you give them this money so that their loved ones can be released. These ones that they're already kidnapping people from now, and money will only be out until December 15 again.
You see, I think Emefiele.
Why
Oh,
they
sorry, ma.
redesigned this naira. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Emefiele is trying to be politically correct. The person that is saddled with the responsibility is the federal government, that is supposed to enlighten us about why they have to redesign the currency and the people they are targeting. For Emefiele, I think he wouldn't want to, step on the toes of a lot of people, because the Mieti Allah leadership has come out to say they have their money in the bushes and in trenches and all that. Now they need time to evacuate this money, and up till now we have not heard that the federal government has, according to them, they always say they swung into action. They have not swung into action to find out where that money is. Why is there no kind of ad hoc committee or whatever, to, or kind of a body set up to go and evacuate all the, if you say your money is in the bushes and dug in the grounds, why is it that there's nobody that is following up on how to dig up this money or bring back this money from the bushes? Because I think it was about 100 days a window that was given. So, and that issue has just been there. Nobody is treating it. The federal government is basically doing nothing. And I don't know what is that. Mefele, I think he's in just the hot seat. He just have to tell us what we want to hear. He doesn't want to offend this Mieti Allah and all the looters of our common patrimony. I think that's what is going on. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Chimaobi, let's give it a try again. Okay, Mr. Chimaobi, are you, if you're not with us, Mr. Chubuzo, if you're still on here. Mr. Chibuzo? Okay, big shout out to you, Dr. Gomez. Thank you very, very much for your donation. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. My Yoruba is strong. I did try for Yoruba. But thank you for being on this broadcast, Dr. Gomez. Thank you also, Govo, for being on this broadcast. G. Simon, thank you for being on this broadcast. That's somewhere around Oyo State. Somewhere around Oyo State. Good afternoon to you too, Simon. It's good to have you on this broadcast. Mr. Maki Rabo, thank you for being on this broadcast. Thank you so very much. Mr. Edo Watch, thank you very much for being on this broadcast. Thank you to each and every one of you, my amazing panelists. Thank you so very much, Mr. Chibuzo. Are you available now?
Yeah,
I-
I'm available. Okay.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. What I want to just add on the environmental sanitation about our system in Nigeria is, you see, we are not our infrastructure is not well built in a way that when you look at it or when you throw a trash somewhere, it disgusts you. The only thing is our environment. This is environment that our government have put in us into, and we are used to it. So whatever we do, we think is normal until we go a place where they are more advanced than us. We will see that there is something they call neatness, cleanness, and proper sanitation. Number one, our structure, the way we build houses, are not well planned. Our roads are not well planned. Our sewerage are not well planned. You know, I can remember I spent almost 15 years abroad. When I came back to Lagos, that same gutter that I left 15 years back, I met it there. It didn't move. The thing is turned to green. It still remain there. It doesn't move. So, and that is the area. That is what we are. How are we going to manage to be cleaning all this sewage? Because our sewage is not moving. It doesn't have a discharging area. Our roads are not well done. I never see people build a house and build parking. I never see people build road, build parking area. I never see it in Nigeria. It's very difficult. Only where you can see parking area is maybe mall and some certain public area. But I never see where government build road in the street and build parking area. So there's a lot of things that Nigeria need to do when it comes to environmental sanitation. Our sewage system need to be perfect first before we can talk about cleaning our street, cleaning our road. Because if you clean it, this our cleaning we do every Saturday. When you clean it, immediately the rain fall, it came back again because those things will go back to the drainage and you go and clean it the next Saturday. So if we have a discharging area, build a proper sewage system that flows, that take dirties out of the street, clean, close our gutters so that no mosquito, you can't even know there's a gutter here. So that is the only way we will begin to see a sign of sanitation. But the way we build our structures are not properly well done. And that is why you cannot compare us to those people we call Japan. Japan have one of the most powerful sewage in the world. Is built in Japan today because Japan suffered the kind of flood we suffer in Nigeria. So what the government did, they came up with a very big plan. Now they build that sewage. Now you can't find those kind of flood anywhere in Japan anymore. So Nigeria, we are still behind when it comes to sanitation. We need to build our infrastructure properly. Our government need to invest more in our sewage system so that we can be able to talk about challenging another countries. So if we don't do all this, then we are wasting our time. We cannot compare ourselves with those countries because those are the foundation they have built for the great grandchildren of theirs. We are still looting money, carrying money going to Dubai. Dubai, when did this Dubai we are running even to? When did they start? Some few years ago. And look at where they are today. And when we go there, they deport us, we are crying. We need to build our country. Those things that we learn in those countries, we need to duplicate them in our country so that we will have different view. The way we view things, we will have it differently. But if we come here, when we elect people in the office, what they know is to carry the money and run away. And these people who are carrying this money are running away. What is their interest in Nigeria? And when they run away, next time again, they will come back, we elect them again. These people don't have our interest in their mind. They don't have anything to do with us here. They just want to carry money, run away, run, run, run. The country does not belong to them. They belong to somewhere else. And then when they come back, we still elect them in. And that is where our flaws coming from. So when it comes to environmental sanitation, we need to do more in our infrastructure, and government need to have what they call regulation. When you build a house, you must build a parking. When you build a public place where people gonna stay, you must have a parking. It must be a mandatory something, so that people cannot just come and build a house anyhow. And that is why you see, when you go to Nigeria today, you see car park in the street, block the road. The things are not well done in Nigeria because of the way our law are structured. It's not well structured, and that is why you see dirtiness everywhere. We are not doing things the way it's supposed to be done. And the people who are elected in power, those people don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. What they know is, I'm a politician. If you ask him what politics mean, he doesn't even know. He will tell you I'm a politician. He doesn't know what politics mean. But, so, and that is where we are getting it wrong. I'm making the same mistake. I'm making mistake again, and we cannot get it right. Thank you. That's all I can say for that.
Okay, Mrs. Ima, can I just add to what Mr. Chibuzo said, if it's
Yes, sir.
okay? Okay, you see, Mr. Chibuzo has said something very, very tangible. He talked about sewages and drainages and all that. Apart from all those ones that will cost a lot of money, what about putting those bins on the street? What about building public toilets? You see, when you are pressed on the street of Benin, you got no until you get home. There's no public toilet. There are no dustbins. Even if you eat all this gala and all that, where are you going to throw away all this if you don't have this in your car? Even in Japan here, you have a water system on the street where you can drink cold water on the street. You just go there, use your leg to press something, and the water comes out, and you drink. And if you are pressed, they are toilet before you travel about maybe 10 minutes, you have a public toilet that you can use. The toilet papers are there provided by the government. Though I know if it's in Nigeria, people will steal them because of poverty. But we have to do something. There must be some. You go to markets in Benin or even in Lagos and elsewhere, you don't have no public toilets. And what people do,
What you keep saying because of poverty? So are you saying a poor man is not a modest or a honest man?
no, you know what, a lot of these people, I know what I'm saying. A lot of people, these people do not even have toilet papers in their houses, and when they use these public toilets and their toilet papers, they just fold it inside their bag and take home. You see, there's poverty and poverty mentality. You see, and it's not enough. It's not enough. Imagine somebody that gets 20,000 as a waiter in the hotel or whatever. 20,000 cannot even take the person to and fro from the job. So what do you expect? You see, in Japan, here, even secondary school leavers or even secondary school students that are doing part-time, their salary is even it's even more than 1 million naira in Nigeria. So more than 1 million, they can take care of themselves. So what about the government that is taking up to 700,000 in a month as a salary, 1 million as their salary? How do they expect people that are taking 15,000 to cope? It's not possible when a bag of rice is 50,000.
Brother, let me just chip in on what you are just saying. Let me tell you about our leadership in Nigeria. We don't have standard. For you to get to that level, you must set up a standard. Meanwhile, let me just give an example. Let's say a police officer, like a recruit, for instance. Immediately you are a recruit in a police, then your minimum, at least you're less. You number one, you must have a house. That is a mandatory. Then you must have a salary that can at least 250,000 as a recruit. If we don't have that standard, because this country you are talking about, this country have standard of life. We don't have standard in Nigeria, and that is why when they look at us from the West, they said we are very poor because of the standard of life we place over ourselves. Look at how much our governors are earning, our senators are earning, these big people. Then look at the The functions, those people who are working in the ministries, how much are they earning? It cannot sustain them in the house. It cannot sustain them in the transport. So, and this is the breeding age of corruption. That is where this corruption starts, because when you don't pay people properly, definitely they must steal to complete their monthly dues. That is the bottom line of it. We don't have standard, and because we don't have standard, our system is not going to work. Thank you. Just continue.
That is it. You see, some time ago, very long time ago, there was one prime minister. I think his name is Kakoi Tanaka. What he did was to, kind of equate or the salaries of every human being, even if he was unable to, make it the same, but it was close. Even if you're a part-time worker, your salary can rent you a house, buy you a car. A salary in Japan for a part-time worker, even a secondary school student that is doing part-time, can buy a used car. So that nobody becomes a slave of the other person. You say in Nigeria you have a 15,000, 20,000, 25, 30,000. Let's assume minimum wage is 30,000, and people in the level 12, 13, 14, and 15 are receiving like 300,000, 500,000 in a month. How do you balance this standard of living? That is why some, like when you say somebody has a maid, you tell a Japanese that you have a maid, they just look at you as somebody that is crazy. What are you talking about? How can somebody be your slave? A maid is just like a slave. How can somebody leave his or her parents' house and come and stay with you and serve you? What about the parents? Because the parents cannot take care of these children. That's why they give them out as maids and maid servant and all that. You see, like he said, the country has no standard. They are not setting a standard. They are not interested. They don't set the education standard. There's no hospital to go. Even poor people cannot go to the hospital. You see, there's a problem with it. It's almost the whole of Africa. There's a problem. That's why these people look down, and when they discriminate against us, we begin to say we are all human beings. Not be the same blood they flow for our body. Blood they flow for our body. Not fit the structure on our country. No restructuring, nothing. It's basically the same since we grew up till now. It's the same. Nothing has changed. Like this man said that he spent 15 years abroad. When he came back, the gutter is still the same. It has become even greener than it was when it's still the same. Go to Benin, it's the same everywhere. You go to the villages we left 30 something years ago. If you go there, it's even worse than we left them. You come to Japan, if you left Japan in 15 years, if you come back, cannot recognize the street. It has become so modern that you cannot even recognize the street. Is it that we all of us, we did not start at the same time? I think they said civilization started in Egypt. Where is the civilization? These people will just take money, move to abroad, dump the money, and come back. Look at the Kwelemadu having 40 houses. 40 houses. What are you doing with these houses? Sister Emma, sorry. Ah.
Hey, Mr. Kennedy. It's fine. Thank you for your submission, Mr. Chibok. Thank you also for your submission. Thank you to each and every one of you on the comment section. A big thank you and a big shout out to you, Mr. Dr. Gomez. Thank you very much for your kind words there, and thank you for your donations too. God bless you, sir. Thank you, Osagbovo. Thank you for being on here, Chi Simon. Thank you very much. Thank you to each and every one of you. Please do also like this broadcast, share, and invite someone to the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are yet to, and turn on your notification bell. Do also remember our other lineups. We have newspaper review by yours truly, Monday through to Saturday, 10 a.m. Nigerian time. We also have the chat Mondays and Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Nigerian time. We have discussions every Monday to Thursday, 5 p.m. Nigerian time. The debate goes for 6 p.m. every Friday. Do also join us, turn on your notification bell. All right. All right. Thank you very much. So sometime last week we had this very trending story, and it seems to be on the rise. And this well, not seems to be on the rise. People are becoming more vocal because I know how they are, when you go for events and you see them start undressing people, like places like MFM. I don't know if they've rejigged their system now or their doctrine now, but I know you can't fix nails, use your eyelash, and when a bride goes to goes to church in her apparel, in her wedding dress, and she has all of those things of makeup, they get to clean them off, take off this, take off that, and all of that. And this is a rather one of those interesting stories out there that one would question, was it truly the Holy Spirit that that gave these people out, or let's really look at this scenario. So this is a couple who on their wedding day, before the wedding day, the story has it that the pastor has been asking them during counseling, are you sure you've not been intimate, are you sure nothing has happened? And they kept saying no. But on the wedding day, the pastor called them into his office while the service was ongoing. That is, they had marched in, they're probably done praise and worship, or they are doing the praise, they are doing their thing, and the pastor asked to see the couple. They left, marched to his office, and asked again, say, the Holy Spirit is asking me, and this is the last time I will ask you people this question, are you sure you've not been intimate? The girl felt, at this point she couldn't take it anymore. She went on to confess that they've had foreplay, they've not known each other all that well, but they've had to cuddle and had foreplay. And the pastor said, just took them outside and told the congregation that their bed has been defiled, so the church cannot proceed with the wedding ceremony. And that's how the wedding was called off at that point. And it's also someone that attended the wedding that got to know of this. So even the reason that the pastor gave to the entire guest, family, friends, neighbors, every colleagues, everybody seated there at that point. Mr. Chubzo, let's catch your reaction to this event.
Hello, how are you? There's something that you are talking about, the two people engaged. They are getting intimate. The pastor asked them something. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I didn't get the story quite well. Please highlight me a little bit.
Okay,
Please.
so on their wedding day, they confessed to the pastor that they've had to be, I'm trying to say this well, they've had to be in each other's arms, they've had to all kiss and be intimate, but they've not had sex, they've not gone down, they've not done the main thing. But
Anything, yeah.
they've done every other thing. She confessed this to the pastor, and the pastor went on ahead to announce to the entire church that they've defiled their bed. So for that reason, the church cannot go on to wed them.
Okay, I know I got it now. If you ask me, the pastor got no right to intervene in their sexual affairs, because after all, they're about to become one. Even though before the marriage, they're already one already, because that is why you see in other area they will tell you, okay, your parents can tell you, first of all, get this woman pregnant to see if she can give birth before we go to marriage. Some parents do that. So, and when you go to altar, pastor, even though you have that big stomach, the father there does not ask no question, because this is yours. There's nothing wrong about it. So for the pastor intervening in this kind of issue, that's to show you that the pastor also have interest, because I don't see the reason why he will leave his blessing he's supposed to give to this. I will put it to him that he have interest. Believe me. So to me, I don't say.
Mr. Chibzo, wait, Mr. Chibzo, it was you, one of those broadcasts we had that told me that even me, I was cheating too, right? That you said every woman cheats. Was it you that said that to me?
Yeah. I do. I'm the one.
Way of just dragging people into situation. Mr. Chibzo, this is another angle entirely. This is but you know that churches get involved in this. I mean, some would even do pregnancy tests on that day just to be sure that some churches go as far as, if you have same people in the church cutting, churches go as far as sending people from the church to go there midnight or very early in the morning, say 4 to 5 a.m., to be sure that brother sleeps alone. He doesn't have that sister in the house or any other sister. So I think it's just a way to conserve people. And because churches are not doing that anymore, we have so many baby mamas and baby daddies out there. And the place of marriage have been, the family unit has been desecrated. You have this one with four fathers, all of them, nobody's going to, they don't have that family thing anymore. But that's just another angle. Please finish up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But if you ask me, no father or pastor have the right to question anybody's sexual relationship. Nobody have that right. You go there to bless them, make sure that their marriage went well. So, but when you start interrogating them, that means you have something behind it, because these are the same pastor. When these two people have problem, these are the place where the woman will run to and explain. And the same pastor now will corner this woman and start daggering her without the husband knowing. So this area is not something that we're supposed to entertain. When you go there for a wedding, the pastor have to do the proper thing he's supposed to do, read the scriptures for them and bless them. So, but when you leave their scriptures and they start preaching about their life in the bed, that is something else. That one I will not subscribe to that. Thank you.
All right, but before they become one, they need to question them about their bed. I mean, that's morality check. And who else does morality check other than the church? That's the place of the church. And we are even giving the bigger picture. These people should not even be committing. I mean, they shouldn't be doing that. Okay, but I think they didn't go all the way. But I think that was just too much from the church, anyways. That was too much,
Yeah,
Abba.
that is what I'm saying, because you're not
That was
supposed to interfere there. These are people who have make up their mind before the church, and they concluded they came there for you to give them the blessing. That is not they're not the pastor is not a doctor to check whether the woman can conceive or you know. So, but what I'm trying to say is that is not the duty of the pastor or a father to bless them during the day of marriage. What the pastor supposed to do, give them the blessing, not interrogate them. Whatever they find there, it's up to them. But when he start interrogating them like this, he have left the preaching and go to the other side of the story, and that is not good. And I don't like any pastor who can take that. No, I don't like it. That is
all right.
out
So
of the Bible.
you brought tradition into this. Which one should a Christian uphold? The tradition of the church or that of the land. That of the land allows you to, as you say, impregnate a woman even before wedding, even before the wedding, as long as you do the needful by paying a bride price for the child to become yours. You know how our tradition goes. But the church frowns upon things like that. Even when you have done your traditional marriage, the church would expect you to do your white wedding first before you move into the homes. And we've come into times where, our youth, or yes, the youth, they do not want to succumb to tradition. But we also cannot deny the fact that there are a lot of evil in marriages. Is it because people are not doing the needful anymore? I mean, I'm sure you and of course Mr. Kennedy, okay, no, not Mr. Kennedy. Oh yeah, Mr. Kennedy left the Nigerian space long ago, had your wedding in the Nigerian setting, set up the format and everything, and that has helped preserve, I'm sure, your marriage in one or two ways today. Would you say otherwise of that?
You said what?
Would you say otherwise of the part that the church has played in your own marriage? I mean, do you not see the effect of what the church does in marriages?
I don't see much of it, because
Oh, yeah.
we have what they call traditional marriage. Then we undermine it again. We go to the white wedding. What is the need of you going for traditional wedding at the same time you go for church wedding? That is doing wedding two times. You do traditional, then you do white wedding. What does that mean? It doesn't make it. That is completely nonsense. Wedding, you do it once. Either you leave the tradition, you do the white, or you do the white and they leave the tradition. But this thing, we go there, we do traditional, then we go for a white wedding. That is waste of God's time. Actually, it's a completely waste, because we don't even know what we are looking for. I don't see the reason why you go and do traditional wedding. What does it mean, traditional wedding? Then you leave it again, you go and do a white wedding. That is, you have done wedding 2 times. Check it there. You have done wedding 2 good times. You see, you have violated the law of the Bible and you have violated the law of the tradition because you only do wedding once.
Mr.
Thank you.
Chibuzo. All right, Mr. Chibuzo, thank you. I've never heard anything like wasting God's time. But thank you for your submission, Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, I'm always interested in topics like this. I wish my brother Nice was here because last time he said nobody should judge, and now the pastor has judged innocent people, innocent couples. You see why I said this religious issue they are hypocritical. You see, if the Bible says don't judge, and what right has the pastor got to judge these people? The fact is, like I said earlier today, when I talk about the factor as a, you know, poverty as a factor. You see, these pastors they just take advantage of these people because they don't have any other option. If I were to be a relation or elder brother to either of these two people, if I were at the church on that day, I will pronounce their husband and wife. If I will go to the altar, I will make sure there's a police there to arrest this pastor, get the pastor arrested for demonizing these people because these are couples. Whatever they do is not your business. You see, this religion is becoming something else. Like I said the other day that one pastor said my sister should not bring Guinness and gin or kai to to the elders of the family when she wanted to get married. That was how my sister lost that man she actually loved. You see, these pastors, they are something else. This pastor should be arrested because look at the stress this pastor has caused on the lives of these two people. These two people that have found themselves. But the same Bible said, "For what God has put together, let no man put asunder." If it is true that God put together these two people, why should the pastor put asunder? What is the pastor's business? Why would the pastor even ask about their private lives, whether they had played or whether they defied the bed? What do you mean by defy the bed? Is the bed dirty? Is that not their bed? Does the bed belong to the pastor? Who ahead is the pastor to call off the wedding? And these people actually heed to the calling off and they went home. Somebody should just jump on the altar and pronounce their husband and wife, and that's all. You see, like what I always say is poverty. About 20 years ago, this is a very short story. This is a story about me. When I went to Nigeria, my daughter told me, Daddy, will you follow us to the church? I said, I'm not a fan of this church. I'm not even interested. I will pray in my home. She said, no, we have to go. Is it that you don't like God? I said, I was a preacher. You don't like God more than me because I was having braids then, not now that I am bald. I have a bald head now. I was having braids and having earrings in my on my ear. And they said, Daddy, you have to make sure you lose this your braids and you remove this earring. If you go to church, they will not allow you. I said, no pastor born of a woman can ask me not to get into the church. If you doubt me, let's go. And me and all the family members, we went to the church. I was the first one that was ushered in. Not just ushering me in, they asked me to come and sit in front where elders used to sit because they needed money and they wanted my address. When I gave them my address in Benin, they refused. They said I should give them my address in Japan, that I don't live there. They want to sometimes contact me. I said, contact me for what? And my daughters and my young brothers, and they were all surprised that I was even the one that was most respected in the church. I was even called out and people had to clap for me. So when I say it's just about poverty, people don't understand. You cannot ask me not to get into the church. Who the hell are you? Me, I don't understand what is going on. Assuming if you come to churches in Japan, at the gate you have the ashtray where people can smoke, and you have the one that is called the vending machine. It's a machine that dispenses both beer, juice and whatever. It's there in the church premises. During break time, you see the pastor, the reverend father sharing smoke with people.
But is that
Yes.
right though, Mr. Kennedy? I mean, if we are not going to
What?
lose our morality to westernization, should there be ashtray in the church?
let me tell you something. Who decides what is morality? Who decides? When people wanted to cast the stone, and Jesus said, whoever is free of sin, be the first to cast the stone." What are we saying? What is morality? That you don't smoke, and you use the VAT from this tobacco to grow your society, to build infrastructures, and to pay for single mothers, and to pay for education of the children. You see, we have a long way to go. All these holy is what is taking us back. Like what is happening in the north, they are destroying alcohol, beverages and all that. Yet they take the VAT from the alcohol. That's what Wike was saying the other day. They take the VAT to develop their cities. And these Western nations are giving aids to Africa, billions of dollars every year from the VAT collected from all these alcohol, beverages, and tobacco and all that. And we collect them, yet we say we are holy. We have very misplaced priorities. But what I'm saying, that pastor was wrong. That pastor should be arrested. But if I was there at the church, I would go to the altar and pronounce them husband and wife. That's all. Thank you.
All right. We have this comment from DJP. Cool JP. Thank you for joining us on this podcast. It's good to have you on here. I'll be reading out your comments in just a second. Okay, it says if you belong to a church, you submit to the church doctrine and ethos. The two guys knew the stand of the church about marriage. It was a hard decision, but they had to submit to the Holy Spirit. So there are some churches who have like a covenant, and every member of, I mean, especially if you are a true member of that church, you just know that there are some things that you are not allowed to do as long as you are under this umbrella. There are some churches that allows it. It's just like wearing trousers to your church when you know trousers are not allowed. Instead of causing all this chaos, carry you want freedom, right? It's fine. Nobody's saying that there is no freedom in Christ. Carry that freedom and go to where they wear trousers. Simple as that. Another person gave an instance of a couple that also tried to play a fast one on the pastor and lied. They said after the wedding they kept having miscarriage. It was miscarriage upon miscarriage until they had to go to the pastor and confess. And the pastor had to pray for them. That's when they were able to have kids. And most times there are spiritual implications to lying about things like this.
Sister Emma,
See,
Sister Emma, it's a lie. Sister Emma,
I know
it's a lie. It's a lie. Don't people have miscarriages in Japan and Australia and Belgium
Supported.
and all that?
Supported. It's
They
complete lie.
yeah, you have miscarriages. Let me tell you, a lot of people are listening to me, and I believe a lot of my family members are listening to me. I have my younger sister here in Japan. She was having miscarriages for so many times. She went to the hospital. She could probably be listening to me now. She's married, happily married, and now with children. And the doctor told her, "You got to remove your fibroid." It's very simple. She went for operation, got the fibroid off, and she conceived, and she has two kids, two children, very beautiful children. You see, what has the pastor got to pray? What is the pastor do? Having miscarriages, there's a problem with where the ovary or the ovum or the ovary, wherever there's a problem there that has to be managed medically. It's not by prayer. Why is it that people don't pray to get money? Why is it that we don't pray for these corrupt politicians to be decimated? Why? Is it just praying for the womb? Pray for this Buhari to be demised so that the country will move on. Why are people not praying? The same pastor, the same Daddy Gio goes to Aso Rock to take money. What are we saying? I beg. Somebody is sick,
uh,
somebody has arthritis, you are praying for the person. Somebody has diabetes, you are praying for the person.
but
As
Mr.
you are
Kennedy,
praying, the doctor is.
Mr.
Yeah,
Kennedy, I
go
want
ahead,
to
ma.
ask you this question. What happened?
What happened?
Yes, what happened with you? At what point did you turn around from being a believer to, questioning the faith? Because I've heard you over time say you're a preacher. I've read you over time, how
Yes.
you were acting so at what point did you get to this place? There's so much resentment when we bring up these issues, and if you do not mind, we'd like to know what happened at what point.
Yes, thank you very much. When you are exposed, when you read books, you are exposed to a lot of, different societies and communities. You begin to like. I have a business here where people gather almost just every day, and we discuss this religion and all that. You see the discrepancies in all this religion. You see a lot of lies, and sometimes you even see the Bible contradicting itself. For me, you see, when people went to Jesus and asked him, how should we pray? Jesus said, this is how we shall pray, including himself. He said it. This is how we shall pray. Our Father who art in heaven. He never asked anybody to pray to him. So if you go into details into the in total of the Bible, you'll find out that you see not the Bible that is actually very contradictory. It's the people that are preaching, that are analyzing the Bible, that are lying. They want to say what is going to suit them so that they can grab money from people. Even if you look at these tithes people are talking about, if you look deeply into tithes, you find out you see, like Daddy Freeze, he has been bastardized because he was free. When you speak against all these religious doctrines, people begin to demonize you and all that. Even the Kumuyi himself, the leader of I think is it not Scripture Union, his own denomination. I think he said before he died, he was going to change a lot of things. You see, people say what is going to preach. I pray to God by myself. I challenge God by myself. You have to challenge God by. It's not about going to one church where they will ask you to bring money to build more churches and all that. How can you be destroying churches? How can you be destroying companies and using the facilities for churches? And you are going to that facility after destroying the building, the factory, you destroy it and erect a church building, and you go to that church building and pray for jobs. How are you going to get the jobs? People don't pray in
Mr. Ken,
developed countries, but the jobs are there.
yeah,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Ken. Yeah, I want to ask a small question. Emma, you also answer this. And the answer, ask this question to every pastor or every reverend father or any preacher. Let me ask you something. When God created intelligent life, including mosquito, what I mean by intelligent life, including mosquito, including the ant, including human being, including the lion on the surface of the earth, did he create them when they were young or when they were big? Please answer me this question.
Who? Is it me or Mrs. Emma?
All of you, anybody can pick up the question. Did he create us
Okay, say it again.
when God created an intelligent life? Let me use a human being as an instance. But both mosquito, both flies, all kind of intelligent life. Did he create us when we were infant, like when we were 1 year old, and when we were a day old, or when we were already a big person? How did the God created us? Did he create us when we were young or when we were old?
Mrs. Emma, over to you.
Okay, so I think created us in our matured state, and then we continued creation by procreation. I think that's how it happened. Mr. Chubso,
You
if
said
that
what?
answer your, I
You said
think
what?
he created us in our adult state. Then
Adult.
we continued creation by procreation, from infant's conception and all that. But the first state that God created us was in our adult state.
Okay. Brother Ken, over to you. You are a former preacher.
Well, I don't know. I never preached to that extent. I don't know where the perception is. God created Adam and Eve. We don't know if they were already adults or children or infant. You see. There's a problem. There's a problem.
Let me
So
answer
nobody
Emma.
can
Let me
actually tell
answer
you.
Emma. Let me answer Emma.
Okay.
Emma said he created us when we were big, right?
Hmm.
Let me answer Emma. The beginning of this planet was young. Everything started from young. Everything. started from both the trees that you find on the surface of the earth started from young. So, but now the mystery remains on the intelligent life behind it, which is mankind, the animals behind it, how they were transformed into becoming intelligent life. That is where the question is. But from the beginning of life, there was a beginning which started from the young. So, but mankind remain a mystery. Any intelligent life remain a mystery. Nobody can give accountability of how all these things come to existence. But the Bible can tell us whatever we want to hear. But intelligent life, nobody can tell you how it comes to in existence. Thank you.
Okay, well, Mr. Chubuzo, I'm not sure I got the point of your submission.
Okay. I said that from the beginning of the planet, there was a beginning. From the trees, there was a beginning of the trees that you find in the forest today. There was a beginning. They started from the young before they became where they are today. Now, intelligent life that follows, which come with all kind of, whether it's a worm, fly, human being, lion, all kind of animals, remain a mystery. Nobody can tell you that whether God created us young or created us when we were small. So it remains a mystery to any living being. Nobody can tell you this is how human being came to existence on this planet. Nobody can tell you that. The Adam and Eve fairies were just to compromise with people. But if you go to Adam and Eve, don't forget that we have a human species all over the world. The Japanese are completely looking different. The Arabs are living different. The Africans are looking different. The Europeans are looking different. The Americans are looking completely different. And nobody knows how God placed these people, whether he placed them like a seed or they came, I don't know how they came in, but nobody can tell you how human beings come to existence. Thank you.
All
I
right, Mr.
believe that. I believe nobody can actually tell you how it all began. Nobody.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen, for your submission. Thank you to all those also on the comment section. The barrister says, folks, facts remain that human doctrine and will as its way into Christendom. So know God for yourself and do His will and His words and walk according to the Holy Scripture through the Spirit of God. But Mr. Kennedy, I'm not sure we gave you that time to answer that question. You were actually put on the spot, asking you what happened.
Yes, I think what happened is when I saw that going to church all the time is just a waste of time. So I decided to serve God in my own way, serve God by myself, pray at home, challenge God. I think it's better for me because it's just a gathering. Going to that church is just a gathering. People just
Okay,
gather
but
to
Mr.
probably look for girlfriend, look for boyfriend, and
what happened? At what point you moved from the
that's what
kind of person that
that's what I'm
always
saying. I believe in God. I believe God created both heaven and the earth. I believe, but I don't quite subscribe to. Look at what happened the other day when somebody said he's a child of God. That is why he did not die. He was inside a bulletproof car with his family. He secluded all the other people that are not relevant, and those people got killed. So you want me to follow those people? No, I wouldn't follow them. I wouldn't follow them. I'll follow what God has said. I follow the Bible. I don't have to because even the church said, the Bible said the heart is the temple of God. The God resides in my heart, not in the church. The church is just a building where people go to commit different crimes, where people bury dead bodies under the altar. So is that where you want me to go? I don't go there. Don't go there to waste my time. I just pray to
Yeah,
God. My heart is clean.
supported, Mr. Ken, supported in what you are saying. And the Bible said
Yeah,
that worship me spiritually. And the temple of
yeah.
God is in the, he said it worship me spiritually. And the people don't understand how the prayer works. Going to church does not make you that a prayer warrior of a person, or God will answer your prayer. As you are there, Emma, talking to us, there's a lot going to your mind, and you are considering with God how to do one or two things, regardless of we are chatting with us here. A lot is going to your mind, and those things going to your mind is when you are having a communication with your God to solve those problems without you saying it out. You are going a lot of processes there, and that is the only way you can communicate with God. And whatever you think and is said, it within that moment you are thinking about all these things, and all these things will come to pass. And that is what God meant by worship me in spirit. He didn't say you must place Virgin Mary statue for you to watch, kneel down and worship. Actually, those are statues. Those things you find in the church is a statue. I don't see the reason why people go there and kneel down and worship all those things. Those things doesn't make sense. Those are not a place of worship. Actually, you worship God in through your heart and your mind, and that is how God designed it. The temple of God is in your heart. Thank you.
And the same Bible said, uh, is appointed unto a man who wants to die, and after that is the judgment. So, which means everybody is practically judged after the demise. And the same Bible said, on the day of rapture, somebody will come and one will be taken, one will be left, and all that. That even the dead shall rise. So, what about the judgment of appointed unto a man wants to die, and after that the judgment? You see, everything is conflicting. And before the advent of Christianity, because this advent of Christianity brought about Jesus or God that is going to judge you, whatever. And before the advent of Christianity, people died 1,000 years, 2,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, people died. How are those people going to be judged? I believe the paradise is here on earth. How are they going to be judged? Because there was no Christian, there was no Islam, there was no religion, and these people, if there were religion, these people would have belonged to either of these religions. But the religions were not there. So how are they going to be judged? You want
Yeah,
to tell
Mr.
them
Ken,
because
don't
they
forget
were
that.
not Christian, they will not be judged?
Yeah, don't forget that the Bible said that as it's done on this earth, then so shall it be in heaven. And this is where people are not
Okay.
getting it right. They think there is
Yeah.
a heaven somewhere. Yeah, outside this planet, outside this planet, we have trillions of planets over there. Don't forget this. After this, our own planet, we have trillions, not millions, trillions of planets over there. So, but according to the Bible, it said that as it's done on this earth, so shall it be in heaven. And the heaven we are talking about is here. And that is why they said that the nature, the earth will inherit the nature. Yeah, earth will inherit the nature or something like that. So whatever we do on this planet, we end up in this planet. There is nowhere we are going. So people forget that outside this planet we are living, there is trillions of planets over there. This is what people forget to understand.
All right, gentlemen, thank you
Yes.
very much for your
Yeah.
submission. Thank you for
Mrs.
all
Emma,
the
Mrs. Emma,
involved
sorry, sorry, the Mrs. Emma, sorry, just the last one. The kingdom of God suffered it violent, and violent took it by force. So, what is the violence? Now, the Muslims are killing people. Do we allow them to? Are they fulfilling the scriptures by going to church to keep people in the church? So, do we give the applaud them because they are fulfilling the scriptures? You see, everything is just contradictory. Anyway, let's leave religion aside. Let's talk about other things. I believe in God. I worship in my house. I worship in my heart. May God
I
bless
think
this word.
we'll
Thank you.
find, yes, yes, may God bless his word. I think we'll find a good time to talk about religion, right? And
Yeah, that is
things
why I
like
wanted I wanted Brother Nice to give me his number so that I can school him on religion. But he
all
has
right.
been, yes, he has been meandering.
All
He
right,
refused to give me his number.
all right. Mr. Kennedy, even me, I would be refusing to give you my number if this is the submission you are bringing on religion. All right, Mr.
You
Kennedy.
see, now this religion they draw us backward, and yet we go they wait. Make people when not like religion, they send us money for aids and infrastructures and all that. Eh? So I beg.
Mr. Kennedy. All right. This is heresy. How is this heresy? How is this heresy? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Madam Rita, it's good to have you on the podcast. Thank you for being on here. Thank you very much. Mommy Diaspora, I see you right there. Thank you very, very much. Assess more. Thank you. Thank you for being on this podcast. The barrister, thank you for being on here. Thank you to each and every one of you. JJ Laye, I'm still waiting for your comment. I'd like to hear more from you. Or you click on the link. Click on the link, JJ Laye. Come on into the broadcast and let's have a conversation. One day, see, the problem we're having now is, you see, when you see people, I'm a Christian and I've been very vocal about my faith. Now, when you hear me asking Mr. Kennedy that what happened, at what point, this is supposed to help as many that are out there. At what point did you, I know Mr. Kennedy, when he used to have some conversations, I mean, his younger self, when he was in university, was on fire. There are submissions he would give, say, from the police station, he went back to school, he had a program, and coming to hear him give this kind of, that's what I'm asking, at what point did you lose out? What happened? What is that life defining things? If we have people out there, we cannot say we should not be having these conversations. If people are having these conversations, taking people out of the faith, we need to be having the conversations, bringing them back into the faith. Yes, we should. We will stand word for word, because these are the same words that will quote the scripture. You have to come ready, giving them back the same scripture. And the Holy Spirit will complete that which He has started through you. So this is not
Sister
heresy of
Emma,
anything. I am not. This is
Sister
my
Emma, Sister
yes,
Emma,
Mr.
you know, maybe you don't understand my point is you don't have to go to church Monday to Sunday. That's what I'm
As
saying. You can if
it
you
happens,
yeah,
as it happens back
you
home here,
understand.
right?
Yes, as it happens back home in Japan, yeah, people go to
Okay.
church only. If people even rent the place, you don't have to build a big building for because of church. You can rent a place to worship every Sunday. And you see your brothers and sisters. You when you call them, sometimes they refuse to pick your call. They will tell you they were in the church on Wednesday when people are working. Go to the farm. And after leaving that church, you are asking me to send money for your children's school fees, and I am working here. I am working, and you are in the church Monday to Sunday, and you are asking me to send you money. You see, everything about the church is a scam. Sister Emma, when are you supposed to go to church? Is it Friday? Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Kennedy, everything about the church is not a scam. It's not. It's not.
Okay.
It's
I'm sorry to say. I know a lot of people will go after me, but God said he created the world first, second to sixth day, and the seventh day He rested. That was Saturday. And how come people go to church on Sunday? So it's a topic for another day. We have a lot of things
yes,
to talk about.
yes, and I hope the day that we intend to, all of you will come out and let's do this right. Let's do this right. All right, thank you very much to each and every one of you on this broadcast. Thank you very much. Just before we round up our submission, this is going to be our last topic for today. Yeah, we took this already, but we'll be catching submissions on that now. So 4 people were picked in Zamfara last week, and the bandits are asking for 5 million naira cash, as in they've negotiated. And when you get to that place and say hello nijale, last 5 billion naira, now that is not even, that is not the unusual. Can you imagine? It's pathetic that as a nation, kidnapping is not unusual. It is pathetic. It is pathetic. It is pathetic that we have come to a place where kidnapping has become a norm. Oh, Abasimi. It shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be so. We need to change the status quo already. But these ones are even brazen enough. They have the guts to say they will keep this ones till they start dispensing the new Naira, because they want new Naira. Now, all of this Naira redesigning will make no sense if there is no way to curb kidnapping and all this ransom paying through this Naira redesigning. This would be the worst thing that Buhari's government have done. If they can be paying ransom and nothing is done, the money cannot be tracked. There is no way, for it just will be really, really terrible if this is also going to be our fate. As the new Naira is coming out, you are rushing to use it to go and rescue 1 or 2 persons, that has been there for a very long time. This is sad. This is pathetic. Mr. Chubuzo, let's have your submission on this, please.
Yeah, Ms. Emma, what I want you to understand is uh, APC government have built an institution of kidnapping and bandits, terrorists, herdsmen killing women and children. And the only thing I was hoping for them to build, make it official by using Alamajiri, to hide under Alamajiri scholars, to improve on this kind of insurgency act. So the government, the money those people are asking, they should give it to them. They should give it to them because we don't have any other alternative. We don't have any security to monitor these people whereabouts. We don't have any government official to say no, enough is enough. We don't have any agencies that can tackle these people. We don't have anybody to guide us actually. Short, we don't have a government. So those people, they hold their loved one captive. If they have the means, let them give those bandits the money and let them release their people. Because if you are hoping on the federal government are the corporates, they are the syndicates, they are the people who are modifying these bandits, kidnappers, to be whatever they want to be. If the federal government can allow them to make announcements to direct Nigerians the way they want it to be on their own benefit. So, and our government are not doing anything. That's to show you that we are driving, in short, our drivers in the government are the bandits, terrorists, herdsmen killing people, and whatever name that you can design them with. These are the people who are making it happen because we can come here and talk as much as we can. As far as this government remain in power, terrorists must be our primary education. We must go school now for terrorism. We need to advocate for it so that they're gonna build schools for terrorism in Nigeria because this is what we are advocating for right now. If we don't change this terrorist government that is in place, so then if Bola Tinubu became a president or Atuku became a president, we will be begging him to don't unify Nigeria. Just build a terrorist school for us so that everybody will become a terrorist in Nigeria. Thank you. That's my take.
All right, thank you very much for that, Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, I think I quite align with what Mr. Chibuzo said. The government of the day has encouraged banditry and terrorism. You agree with me when before Buhari came to power, he said the attack on Boko Haram is attack against the North. Now he said it when after he made the speech of baboons and dogs will be soaked in blood and all that. So and when Jonathan was using his I think chief of army staff or so General Ihejirika to fight this Boko Haram. They went some Northerners went to the United States to complain to Obama to arrest Jonathan anytime he went to America and all that he was against it. He was killing the northern people and all that. You see, that is why they gave the impetus to these northern terrorists to grow their wings, and now they have grown out of hand that even the government cannot control. I don't know if they actually try to curb the menace of the terrorists and the bandits. So that is where we find ourselves. And these people, they have the temerity to ask for new money that was not unveiled at that time. This money was just unveiled yesterday, but I'm not sure it's in circulation yet. And these people, they are asking for the money that is not in circulation yet. So they have the temerity, they have the audacity to say whatever they want to say because nobody is after them. If anybody was going to be after them, how come somebody that came out to say they should give them, 3 months more to evacuate the money from the bushes? So these are terrorist money. These are bandits money. These are people that that are adopting people, are kidnapping people. That is the money. They are probably like one analyst rightly said. He said if you look at these kidnappers, they are ragtag people. So They don't look like people that can even get a 3 square meal a day. How come they are taking millions and they look very haggard, which means they are working for a particular class, the elite. They are working for some people, because even these people cannot even afford the AK-47, because AK-47 should be up to, I don't know how much they said it is, but it's very expensive, maybe $2,000 $2,500, which is close to or more than 2 million naira. So how can these people afford the AK-47 if somebody is not sponsoring them? So this is where we find ourselves. They are holding these four people, like Chibuzo said. They should give them the money if they want these people to be free, because they have been giving them this money. They want to use them for campaign too. They want to use these people to terrorize people. Look at what happened yesterday in Ibadan, where somebody that disguised to be a SSS or DSS was having a very long dagger inside his suit. Maybe he wanted to harm Peter Obi with it. He was caught. We have not heard what happened to him up to this moment and so on. So we are in trouble unless this government is kicked out of office. Then we will not see the light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Kennedy, thank you very much for your submission and thank you for your time on here. Also, Mr. Chibuzo, thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Tunaja, how you doing? Good to have you on the broadcast.
Yeah, thanks, Emma, for having me. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Yeah, this one is a bit of an interesting topic. That's why I came on regarding the bandits. Worrying about currency change and not wanting to be paid in old currency. What's wrong with them just going to the bank? Are they worried that they're going to get arrested? Guilty consciences, isn't it? Um, the problem with this issue is we are going to keep having this, by terrorists telling us how they prefer their currencies now, and I think the central bank is right when they say that their policy should be trying to head towards a cashless society, and that makes it hard for bandits to function. And if you look at China is basically a cashless society, and you don't hear of all this. Although China has a massive military, you don't hear of all this nonsense about even terrorist attack, because even America do get terrorist attack now and again, and America too is by and large cashless, especially when you are dealing with things over 1,000. You don't pay any for almost anything over 1,000 with a car with cash anymore. So that will help control the flow of these bandits, especially these terror hostage taking ones. However, there is a bigger problem out there where you have some areas in Nigeria that are no-go areas, while people are coming in and taking our natural resources and just making money out of our country that we are not making. All this comes from the fact that Nigerians have not woken up to their responsibility of what they should be demanding from their governments. I say this not because I don't know that the government should know, but if the government is already compromised, then there is only another way to the only other way to change it is for the people to demand change. Because if they are compromised and the people keep demanding change, they are going to fear a reaction that will remove them from office, and which it will happen, because if people open their eyes and say, you know what, we want this change, and the government refuse, eventually that government is going to be removed, and they will not want that to happen. So they will want to give the people what the people want. Watching women, crying, men crying at the gates of schools because their family members have been kidnapped. It's a heartbreaking thing, and I don't understand how those parents are left like that. And because your child has not been kidnapped, you say it's okay, let's keep living the way we are living. It's not an ideal way. Personally, I wouldn't live in a country where I won't tolerate it anyway. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't want to tolerate a country where my security is not taken care of, where every time we live in an estate, we have to put security guard at the gates, and if not only at the gate, then they will put it in the area too, like in let's say 500 kilometers around the estate. You tend to see that they have multiple estates. They have a bigger security network. They are all putting security networks everywhere that is inefficient. You don't see that in the West, because they have a national security policy that is actually functional, because the people will not accept it, where they will just be sitting in their home and craziness just keeps happening. You go out to go and buy food, you don't know whether you're going to come back. You can't keep living like that. And Nigerians know what they need to do, but they just haven't been, things haven't gotten bad enough. That's the way I look at it. When terrorists get bad enough, Nigerians will react when the time comes. And it's a shame. And because for things to get bad enough, innocent people will have to die. Things will have to get worse. And maybe it's not even a terrorist that will wake us up to our security challenges. Maybe it's foreigners that will wake us up to our security challenges. Maybe one day is one day. When the day of judgment comes, when the people that have the power decide that, you know what, enough of this charade, let's take over this place. Maybe that's when our people will remember that they didn't do their job. Maybe that's when we will wake up. I don't know. Because this kind of situation whereby we see other countries doing something totally different. And we this is not in the case of corruption in Nigeria, we know corruption is bad and we try to fight it. Yes, it's happening to us. We try to fight it. That's different. But in the case of security is a bit different. Nigerians don't understand the need for military. They don't understand. That's even worse. It's worse than in the case of corruption. We know corruption is bad. But in the case of military, we don't even know we need them. Because many of us think that military is bad because they traumatize us every day on the street and they do bad things to us. We have a bad memory of the military, which is true. But it doesn't necessarily mean they are not still the solution. It's like taking a bad medicine and the medicine is not treating you well and things are still bad. It doesn't mean that medicine may not be the solution in the end. Because if you take enough of it, like antibiotics works like that actually. If you take very little antibiotics, it's going to make the problem worse. But when you take the appropriate amount, that's when the bacteria will be defeated and you will have a recovery. That is the same symptoms Nigerians have with their military. The military is too small and it traumatizes the people. Every time they meet the military is beating them up or doing one thing stupid to them. But when you have a reasonable sized military, all that problem goes away because professional militaries don't behave like that. How many professional militaries have you seen around the world that behave like that? They don't do that because they have their marching order. They know what they are supposed to be doing. The country treats them with respect. They do their job too to protect the country. If there is a national disaster, they will defend it. Our people need to get to that point, and I don't know how they can get to that point because corruption, they can see it with their own eyes. They can see somebody steal their money, but if they see kidnappers taking people, they can't make the leap to say, oh, we need more soldiers because they hate their soldiers. I don't know how they are going to get there other than things get really even worse. And when we're talking about worse, I'm talking about really worse and maybe too late. I'm sorry, because every time I've been saying this online, I've been telling people, look at the numbers of every other country. This is not how a country should be. None of them ever say, you know what, enough of this. We need to demand answers from our leaders. I've spoken to 3 presidential candidates and I've demanded answers to these questions. And some of them, to be fair, like Al Mustafa, agreed that we need to do this type of stuff. He even talked about creating two new branches of military. The ones that agreed to do these things, they are not giving them airtime. I actually saw a candidate talking about recruiting 1 million soldiers. Immediately they shut him down. He didn't get the chance to finish the point, and they just telling me, oh, people are calling us, people are calling in, and they didn't let him discuss it. We are being manipulated. We are not being given the chance to fix all these problems. If we want these problems to be fixed, we the people have to start demanding it from our leaders. Some of our lower level political leaders know it, but the high level ones are not saying it. Peter Obi said it only once throughout his whole campaign. Why? But you hear consumption to production all the time, don't you? You hear everything else that he talks about, how electricity is this. But in terms of recruiting 1 million people, he said it only once throughout his campaign. You have to ask yourself, why do our leaders shy away from all these things? Why do they not feel like they need to defend their country? I don't know. It's a mystery to me. And I keep asking our people every day, is there anything we signed under our independence agreement that is leading to this kind of shy behavior when it comes to taking care of your people? It's not only Nigeria. It's happening in Togo, Cameroon, Benin Republic, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire. all the way to Senegal is the same thing. You go to Kenya, the same, like that, the same behavior. They are all showing the same behavior. If our people don't start asking serious questions, one day we'll wake up, we'll wake up, and another military will be inside our country ruling us directly. Because the other day they were asking Peter Obi during his campaign about security. He said, I'm not going to tell you the solution. How are you not going to tell us the solution of what you want to do? Maybe your solution is bringing British soldiers to come and occupy our land. How are you supposed? Our political leaders don't tell us precisely what they are going to do. Bola Tinubu once talked about recruiting many people, but no, he backed off immediately, and now he doesn't talk about it anymore. The whole thing is, the whole behavior of the country towards security is scary, and
Yeah,
something is
brother,
behind it.
brother Tunaja, sorry to cut you off. Brother Tunaja, what happened in a security is security remain a secret affairs. You don't just come out and tell people how to manage your security affairs. Security affairs remain with the intelligence and the government. So in certain area you can highlight it, but there is a lot you don't talk about. Even in America, where you are, or London, they don't talk about their security, how they will manage them. Thank you.
They do talk about it too. To an extent, I agree with you. They don't talk about operational things. You can't just say, we are deploying this one here, we are deploying that one there. No, you are going to talk about, I'm going to recruit more soldiers. I'm going to buy more warship. I'm going to buy new nuclear weapons. I don't know if you are in the UK, you will hear the debate when they're having it. We are going to get new nuclear, renew our nuclear deterrent. That's the way they describe
Yeah,
it.
no, that one is highlightable, but there is some certain things, like as you said about some certain inside the
Operational.
security, right. The government, they don't leak it. Even in America, like Lockheed Martins, when they are doing a secret mission, like building new aircraft that is not even in a visible eye today, America give them a lot of money. They will develop those aircraft secretly until time will come when they will reveal it to people. And that is how the military works. Thank you.
Yeah, that is a black project, and that is acceptable. I'm not even when I talk about transparency, I always exclude the military from that, because the military work is secret. That part is secret, but the part that needs to be published is the one that you say, okay, I want to increase the size of my military to defend our borders and the territory of the country. I want to this thing create social technology. We want to improve technology, which they talk about. To be fair, they do talk about increasing technology in the, but in terms of numbers, is the one they shy most about. And if you go and check online, I don't know whether you can just check military world military power index and all the rest. There's this website you go to, and if I read it to you, the clear
All right, Mr.
definition of the, sorry, 30 seconds, the clear definition, what they define as the power of a military, is the number of soldiers it can deploy, not technology that they put as the most pivotal thing, not the this thing, this thing, the commanders, but the numbers. And our countries don't do that, and you have to ask yourself why. And it's so uniform, it's so uniform. The black countries don't do it. Something is causing it.
Tonaja, Peter Obi spoke about the defense and protection of the country, but when the interviewer was insistent, Peter Obi said, "I will not say more than this." So like Chibuzo said, it's always like that, because
Yeah, but
even
everything else he
Dati,
wants to say,
hold on, sir. Even Mr. Dati said, we know what is going on. And as time progresses, we'll tell you what to do. I think Dati said that about 2 months ago. So we are waiting for them. They will tell us the details later.
isn't that what Buhari
Oh,
told us? Where
thank you
terrorists,
very much, each and every
terrorists
one of
bombed
you.
us and all of them.
Thank you very much for your submission. Thank you, gentlemen, for your submission. Each and every one of you. You've been amazing. Thank you for your amazing, amazing submission. So our debate for today has been moved to 7 p.m. Just to give room for the Ghana World Cup game tonight. So please join us by 7 p.m. for our broadcast. Do well to join us by 7 p.m. Do not forget. Thank you very much. Thank you to each and every one of you on the panel, on the comment section. Thank you also. Big, 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 big thank you to each and every one of you that donated to the broadcast today. God bless you big time. God bless you big time. Please do want to like this broadcast if you are yet to. Please like our every broadcast. It helps with visibility. It helps. Please please like our broadcast, support us, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Even more, turn on your notification bell. Thank you very much. A big thank you to my amazing panelists. I say thank you. Apologies to every other person out there. We're already rounding up, so we won't be taking any more persons. I'll come to you, Mr. Chubuzo, for your final submission on the topic so far.
Yeah. My submission to what is happening right now in Nigeria is just to, you know, there's nothing else we can do. No matter what we say here, no matter what we agitate for, is to vote this government out. And if we don't do that, this thing will keep on raining on us. And if a new government come in without addressing this thing, especially those two that we don't want, which is Tunubu and Atuku, we don't want them. Immediately they come to power, these people will continue where APC government stop, and that will mean more terrorists, more killings, and more instability in the country. So the only way we can vote these people out is to go to ballot box. Look at what happened in America when Donald Trump was malingering about. What happened when Obama told the people the only way you can do it is to go to ballot box, and that's what happened. And when they both voted him out, what happened? He was just crying. They need to bully him out from the White House. So the only way to vote these guys out, no matter the number they say they got, we need to go to ballot box and make our president known and vote them out. And that is it. And that's how where the Nigerian people can be able to have a fresh air. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Chubuzo. Thank you for being on the broadcast. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much. Mr. Kennedy, let's have your final submission.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Emma, for your wonderful moderation. The only area I want to talk about is the redesigning of the Nigeria currency. It has been unveiled, but I do not see any very spectacular difference between the new notes and the previous ones because it all looks the same, with the exception of some. I think this one is brighter, or because it's new, that is why it looks brighter and all that. There's no spectacular difference. But anyway, that is the decision of the government. Is okay. But I would have loved if there's a holistic approach to everything that is being done by the Nigeria government and all the people that are responsible for all the activities. That a lot of people have been saying on different platforms that they have monies with them abroad. But for those of us that are traveling back to Nigeria very soon, we might be able to dispose this money. But for those people that are living abroad that came with money, because if you don't leave Nigeria with money and you are coming back, these people might be harassing you at the airport. They will just label you as somebody that has contraband, whereas you don't have contraband. They will even be asking you to bring a receipt for your phones and all that, or the little gadgets that you have in your bag and all that. So you need to pay some money. If you don't have this, you need to pay some money and all that. That is why a lot of people are taking money abroad, because when they are coming back, they need to use this money. And most especially the time when we needed this I think is PCRO and all that. So you needed to pay money at the airport and all that. So I don't know. So Nigeria, there should be holistic approach to all these fire brigade approaches. The Naira will be in circulation from the 15th. I think they decided to unveil it yesterday. I think it's already in circulation today. And a lot of people, they have not gotten the plans to travel back to Nigeria. So that money, those money with them would be money back home and all that. But if they want to target some people, some areas like this kidnapping and banditry and all that, I think they should come out openly, target these people, and make sure the money they have taken is wasted, so that the value of the naira is kind of restored, at least to some extent, because this one we are now a dollar is about 780 or $777. I don't see how the Nigeria is going to survive. The ordinary citizens of Nigeria, I don't see how they're going to survive when a bag of rice is about 50 or 52,000 per bag. I think that is very, it's a bitter pill for Nigerians to take. Thank you very much. I'll leave it here.
Mr. Kennedy, thank you for sympathizing with Nigerians, living in Nigeria especially. Thank you. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for holding it down with me all through the day. Thank you.
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Tunanja, Mr.
Yeah.
Tunanja, let's have a final submission.
Yeah, I don't know why all these bandits are shy of going to the banks. Yeah, they should. They should. Are welcome to the banks. Bank managers should be welcoming of them, so that they get arrested, idiots. The Russians, the Russians after the Second World War, they are prisoners of war that were kidnapped from by other countries. Where when those prisoners came back to their country, you know what? They took them to camps just to kind of re-educate them and treat them as suspects, basically. And this is how paranoid some people are. That's their own citizens, soldiers that went to fight for them, got arrested because they were exposed to Western life and things. When they came back, they were arrested and put in camps just to make sure they are not spies and people coming back. That's how paranoid some people are in this world. The stories are endless. But when you look at us, the way we behave is not normal. Our culture, the part of our culture that is responsible for our defense and our dignity, really. This is why everywhere we go, Nigeria get kicked out, and you see Nigerians crying. After you have been kicked out of a country, you're crying because they kicked you out of that country. Because you have not built yours. That's why you're crying. It's so sad. The life we lead right now, we are living a life with one hand tied behind our back because our security and threat assessment is broken. We don't understand what is good for us and what is not good for us anymore. And I'll keep saying this until we decide that, you know what, we are going to create 2 million jobs, 1 million for soldiers, our youths, and 1 million for police and custom to protect our country. You are not going to see a lot of massive change. Everything we do, we just always keep getting frustrated over and over again because many of our diaspora will not be able to return to contribute. Businesses are not going to be able to improve. If you do these things, you will see foreigners, all of us, I will be in Nigeria. I know Nigerians that have built houses in Ghana. They will not, all that money will not be going to Ghana. It will be coming straight to Nigeria. There are many African Americans that have Nigerian genetic heritage. They are busy traveling to Ghana, South Africa, all over the world. They should be coming to Nigeria, but they are not coming because Nigeria is not even on their radar. Because anytime they hear Nigeria, negative, negative, negative. And Nigerians are not helping that too. Because we go out there and we lambast the country as if the country is on fire constantly. America, 40,000 people die every year from gun violence. You don't see Americans going overseas and lambasting their country every day. Russia lost 15 to 50 million people during this time of Stalin. You don't see them going all over the place. They call their country the motherland. I don't understand. There is something seriously missing among our people that we have forgotten that we should be taking care of our own. And we have to start doing that. If we want to start fixing all these problems, we have to start demanding change from our leaders, from our governors. Start from the local government and our governors to the presidents. You have to be demanding better from them. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Tunanja. Thank you for your submission. Thank you to each and every one of you that has held it down with me on the broadcast today. Thank you so very much. Do also remember our other line of say. I had to turn on my camera. I want to give a special shout out to Willie. Thank you very much for the compliment. I love compliments. I don't know about other people, but me, I love compliments. So for everyone that has taken out time to compliment me. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please keep it coming. Every day you come on my broadcast, come with my compliments, come with my likes, and also come with my donations. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you to each and every one of you, to my amazing panelists. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Yes, for our newspaper review. Tomorrow is Friday, so hey, cheers to the weekend in advance. And I hope you have plans to have amazing weekend. If you don't, please start taking notes. You should. It's been quite a weekend. You deserve a weekend filled with rest and every other thing you choose to include in your weekend. All right. So this is me saying goodbye to each and every one of you. To see you tomorrow. Remember that our broadcast for tonight starts by 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Yes, just after the Ghana match. Do well to join us by 7 p.m. If you are yet to turn on your notification bell, now is about a good time to turn on your notification bell. I was just about saying goodbye. All right, to each and every one of you, thank you. Mr. Chibuzo, thank you. Mr. Kennedy, thank you. Mr. NAIJA, a big thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay. All right.
Who is that saying I'm here? Johnny.
Okay, hi. How you doing, Jay? It's good to have you on the broadcast.
He's gone off
Oh,
again.
you left after everything? Okay, so we're already rounding up, but okay, so if you're offended, apologies. But I already said I was rounding up and I wasn't going to take any more persons onto the broadcast. Apologies if you're angry. Check back tomorrow or you join us by 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Nigerian time for the rest of the broadcast. All right, so each and every one of you, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much for today.
Thank you. Let us go and watch men running after leather ball. We are not even in the competition. Why are they postponing the session because of all this football nonsense? What is?
How did you not make it? How did you not make it to the World Cup?
I don't know. Maybe because we are busy losing on everything. We didn't even make it to the World Cup, and we are busy postponing a session because of them. Watching men running around chasing leather ball. I'm not too fascinated. I'm over football. I'm telling you, I have bigger things to worry about, like like our survival, really.
Right. Okay, but nonetheless, for the sake of the larger audience, our broadcast today has been moved to 7 p.m. So please do well to turn on your notification bell. Do well to join us by 7 p.m. after the broadcast, after the football. Until then, stay safe, stay well, enjoy the rest of your day. Please get your PVC if you are yet to take care of you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Oh.